welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your critic, Alton Henry, and today I would like to talk to you of another film, which is one of my favorite films of all time, and actually might be my number one. I'm still debating between two movies. And this film had its controversy when it came out. And I think it gets overshadowed by a lot of other Quentin Tarantino movies. And yeah, it's Inglorious Basterds. La 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 la. Okay, I'm overdoing it. Starring Melanie Laurent, Christopher Waltz, Brad Pitt, Michael Fassbender, and a little special narration by Samuel L. Jackson. And it's a simple story of just two characters, or two stories that have the same common, which is to assassinate the Nazi occupation in France. Given the opportunity, the showdown happens at a movie theater. And the message of this movie is the power of movies that can change people's perspective, that can change a nation, that can change everything. You can also learn a lot of things from movies. And personally, a little bit from me, yeah, I learn quite a bit from watching movies. You learn a little bit about the world from watching film, but hey, you gotta experience, real life stuff to know the whole concept of how the world actually works. But this tells you how the power of cinema can influence you, and the message is cool. But taking down Nazis is a lot better. This film, I was so excited when I heard that Quentin Tarantino was finally doing a war film, a different genre that he's doesn't really tackle. And this is his first war film. And when I saw the trailer has one of the best marketing trailers, the teaser trailer, one of the best trailers. And I love the tagline, "You haven't seen war until you see it through the eyes of Quentin Tarantino." Oh, hell yeah, man, I'm ready to go. Just like Kill Bill, the movie is set into 5 chapters. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once Upon a Time in Nazi-occupied France. Chapter 2, Inglorious Basterds. Chapter 3, A German Night in Paris, if I remember. Chapter 4, Operation Kino. And Chapter 5, Revenge of the Giant Face. And the film, under Quentin Tarantino's style, is not a normal war film. In fact, this is probably one of the war films that I've seen that barely have any action in the film. And the movie's a little bit around 2.5 hours. Barely any action. If I had to calculate all the action scenes in there may be like 3 to 4 minute worth of it. Maybe like just barely hitting 3 minutes. And how can I love this film? Well, the characters are fully fleshed out. They're all written. They're all badass. And I loved it that the film didn't really focus on Brad Pitt's as the main lead. He's the lead, but he's not like the main lead of the film. You have basically 3 characters. One of them is Brad Pitt. The second one is the French actress Melanie Laurent, who plays Susanna Dreyfus. And then you have the main antagonist, the Jew hunter, played by Christoph Waltz. And I heard he won for Best Supporting Actor at the Cannes Film Festival. And he won for the Academy Awards. And I can tell you, he is phenomenal in this film. He is great in here. In fact, he's like the only character that appears in most of the chapters. And I think he's kind of the character shown the most, second to Melanie Laurent, who's, I think, really, really the main character of the film. I think her character is kind of the more heart of it. And you kind of start off with somewhat with her chapter a bit. And I love that Quentin Tarantino decided to kind of have two stories into one, where it's, you know, you just have one story here and you have one story there, and it's more about the story and the characters that intertwine and see how they connect. And the characters never really actually meet. Well, the two main protagonists, they actually never really meet. Just their circumstances do, and when they both find an opportunity to take down the Nazi leadership, they do their best to accumulate the best plan, and they try to fulfill it the best way possible. The best way I would describe the genre of this film is a satirical fantasy war film, because it ends in a fantasy way where we both know how it actually really ended. And you know, given this is a Quentin Tarantino film, this is a very dialogue-driven film, and I noticed something about it too. Each chapter, there's like one scene in the film where you're in it for the most of the duration of the sequence of the chapter. Where chapter 1, you're mostly at this barn with two people talking. Chapter 2, you're mostly in this little ditch where, like a cave or something, you have people mostly talking. And your chapter 3, you're mostly at like this dinner restaurant where you have mostly people talking. The chapter 4, mostly at this bar. It was one of the best sequences I've seen in any fucking film. You have just people talking. And the simplest little that bar scene is like one of the best scenes ever. I mean, I'm serious. You just have people talking in there, and just one little trait that people know about their own culture, and if you mess it up, they're gonna know you're a snitch, you're a liar. Instantly, they're gonna know that scene, and it's like the most common things, like pop culture kind of thing. So if you mess up and they notice that, you don't like, dude, that's like common sense in this country. If you don't know, obviously you're not who you say you are. That scene alone. And it wasn't anything like too complicated for them to find out. It was something so common in that culture that, oh, so you didn't know that, okay, you're fake. Boom. And it blew me out. How that scene just went, man. Oh, it's one of the best scenes I've seen in any fucking film ever. Oh my God. The bar scene. Little spoiler. The bar scene in chapter 4. Where they have to rendezvous with this German actress, Diane Kruger's in the film, who's also an informant for the resistance, and she has to meet with two members of the Bastards and a British officer who's decided to join in with the with the Bastards to figure out information of Adolf Hitler. And unfortunately, that bar was supposed to be secluded. Nobody was supposed to show up there. But unfortunately, a group of Nazis decide to go to that bar to celebrate somebody else's birthday, or not birthday. Their kid just was born. So unfortunately, they had to stay there. If they leave, they would look suspicious. So they had to kind of stay there and look the part. And let's just say, a certain character from the previous chapter shows up there, and things start to go very, very wrong, and it's written to the extreme, like superb. Like, Quentin Tarantino is a master of dialogue. Nobody could beat Quentin Tarantino. Nobody could write a scene like that, like Quentin Tarantino. Nobody could reenact a scene like that like Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino is the only dude who could do something like that. How can you just make a scene so suspenseful just through dialogue? He could make a scene. He could make a scene about just talking about French toast, and he can make that intense as fuck. I loved it. That was I love that scene. I saw that shit like twice. And this film, it's one of his best movies. This is like his best film to me. I love this more than Pulp Fiction, to be honest with you. Like, I know Pulp Fiction is gets the level of the time. But man, this film is just phenomenal, man. It's the writing, the experiment of the chapters, the like when I found out that they cut the film, the movie was supposed to be 160. They cut it to like 154 or something. Hell, I would have loved that they made it longer. There's deleted scenes on this DVD that they cut out. I'm like, that could have been left in. I mean, there were just little scenes here or there, but honestly, it didn't really impact the story at all. Brad Pitt is great. This is one of my favorite Brad Pitt films. And he's the star of the film, but then he feels like he's not like... I like that the film doesn't really shine on every character. It's more of the story and the situation that they're in. But the person that really stole the movie from everybody is Christoph Waltz. This film made his debut in the U.S. and just tell him that this guy is a phenomenal actor. I tell you, this film is underrated. It doesn't get the love and appreciation it deserves. It needs to be seen. Please check out Inglorious Basterds, because I'm going to tell you. Please let me know if you've seen this film. And write down in the comment section below if you have. Let me know if you loved it, if you hate it. I think this movie is underrated as hell. I love this. I love this film. Please like, subscribe, and let me know what's your favorite underrated movie. And surprisingly, this film was really fucking funny.